won't.
Welcome to another episode of the Rogues Den Show.
I am Daniel.
I'm Kez in a hood. It'll say that on my nameplate because I can do that with visual effects.
Oh, in that case, I am Daniel in a jacket.
Perfect.
And today we are going to be talking about sports on TV and doing the news and whatever Scott wants. But first, and most importantly, we're going to be talking...
swashbuckling goodness.
We're going to be talking about the Princess Bride, Beta Zorro.
That is also not a princess nor a bride.
But is a pirate.
And does feature one of the best sword fights in cinematic history.
Made by the same person that made made by the same swordmaster as the
guy that
Zorro.
made swords. Oh.
Yes. He also
Yeah.
makes swords, technically.
Technically. Good ones, in fact. Just
Let's go. Okay, now, Belle has promised me that she has watched The Princess Bride this week. Have you?
I sure have.
Yes! What did you think?
I think it's up there with one of my favourite movies, to be honest.
Of course it is.
It was pretty great.
So
It was.
good.
I don't know how I haven't heard of it before.
You haven't heard of it?
No, until you told me.
Oh, this is why you need a cinephile in your life.
I do.
It's, so, is it romantic, adventurous?
It's romantic, adventurous, it's funny. It's everything that I want in a movie.
Oh, really?
It really is. It reminds me a lot of my childhood movie, Ella Enchanted, which will always be my favourite.
It's also a fairy tale.
It is.
It is, it's a satire of the swashbuckling fairy tale princess pirate adventures.
Yes.
With sword fighting. But it's also a great example of that.
Yeah.
Favourite character?
I don't know how to say his name. Is it
Inigo Montoya.
Yeah, Inigo Montoya. I love him.
You
was
watched
great.
my movie.
Yes.
Prepare for a hug.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so so it's based on a book, this book. Mm-hmm. And what's great about this is that the screenplay was also written by the author.
Yeah.
I say the author. Technically, he wrote it, but untechnically, he abridged it from a book that he also made up. It's very confusing.
Very confusing.
But in the movie, the boy that is never named is him. It's William Goldman.
Yes.
S. Morgenstern wrote the book, he abridged it, and then we have an adaptation of a book that pretends to be an adaptation of another book that isn't an adaptation but pretends that it is.
Yes.
I'm really glad that that's no way confusing.
It took me to this morning to understand that.
Yeah,
And,
good. I still don't fully get it.
Well, I'm glad that I do now. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we have the Princess Bride. Carrie Elwes
Yes.
plays Wesley,
He does play the beautiful Wesley.
who's dressed as Zorro.
Yes, he is dressed as
He's got the
Zorro.
exact same costume as Zorro,
100%.
minus the hat.
Yeah.
He's playing the pirate. And he becomes a pirate in the most Princess Bride way possible.
Yes.
And it's real fun, and I'm really glad that you like it.
Yeah.
We have the not princess. She never becomes a princess.
No, she doesn't.
It's called The Princess Bride. The title came from his kids.
Right.
And his kids wanted a book about pirates and princesses and love. And his daughters named the book The Princess Bride. And so he came up with the thing, like, title first.
Yeah, nice.
Even though she isn't a princess, but almost is, but kind of isn't.
Well, she never
sort
got
of.
married.
Yes.
But then if she got married, will she then be a queen?
So this title is complete BS.
Okay, pretty much.
Damn. Worst book.
Okay. Amazing movie.
It's such a good. It's an interesting book to read for like the framing device, but the movie is like, forget all that. We're just going to have him like narrate and read the story, and we're just going to focus on the story itself. We got rodents of unusual size, which is just a plushie being thrown at Carrie Elwes.
Yeah, and going to the sinking hole. That
Oh
was,
God, the sinking hole is terrifying.
very terrifying.
Wesley is throughout most of this been like, yeah, it'll be fine, be totally fine. It's gonna be fine, probably. And you have all of this stuff. There's like 1,000 jokes in this.
Yeah.
My favorite is the sword fighting
That was my favorite.
between Wesley and Inigo Montoya.
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's set up so that I must fight him left-handed, otherwise it would be over too quickly. And then the reveal that Wesley is also fighting left-handed for exactly the same reason.
Yeah. I thought it was great how when Wesley was climbing up the rock, I can't pronounce his name, Igno. Montoya.
I'm like
how he waited
sure
for him.
that's correct.
Yeah, how he waited for him, and it was the whole joke that he will reach the top alive, and then they will fight to the death.
Yeah,
I thought that was quite funny.
You have 3 bad guys. You have the giant. You have the swordsman. And both of them are like super polite. And then you have their boss who's like Fezzik, who's like, why didn't you just kill him? Just kill him. And he's like, the giant Fezzik is like, tells the giant, what should I do? It's like, when he comes around the corner, throw the rock at him. He's like, oh, that doesn't seem very sporting.
It was pretty funny. I loved Fezzik as a character very much.
Fezzik is such a good villain because the other 2, they get like their redemption. They're not really bad guys. They're just like being hired.
Yeah.
But then you have Fezzik, who's just the worst.
Yeah.
He's the third worst character, villain in this, and he's so funny.
Who do you think's the worst villain?
The worst villain is the guy that's trying to marry Buttercup.
Humperdinck?
Prince Humperdinck.
Prince Humperdinck.
Just in case you thought that we're in any way taking this seriously, it's Princess Buttercup and Prince Humperdinck.
Yes.
Because we got the 6-fingered man.
Yes.
You wouldn't happen to have 6 fingers on your left hand, would you? I'm afraid not. No, that's a shame. Then he goes into this like monologue of why and how, and then he's like, "You're a very polite fellow. I hate to kill you."
Did anyone die in the movie?
Wesley technically died.
Technically, yes, he did. Yeah, I liked that part of the movie that no one actually died.
Yeah, spoilers, but you've seen it.
Got poisoned, right?
Oh, yeah, Fezzik died.
Because fuck that guy.
Yeah, Fezzik.
He's the only one that died because if anything is true about the Princess Bride, if you're going to murder someone or if you're not, be polite about it.
Polite about killing. I love it.
Very
I'm going to kill you,
polite
but I'm going to
action.
say thank you and please.
Yeah, exactly. Say please and thank you. So, for example, thank you for watching The Princess Bride.
Thank you for suggesting it to me.
Thank you for coming on.
And thank you for having me.
And please join us for our next segment.
Welcome to the next segment of the Rogues Den Show. And here we are with Josh Vittles 2.0. And this week it's another round of Imagine That.
Yes, it is.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
All right, that was a pretty good intro.
Yes, it was.
So why am I wearing this hat on top of my hood?
Because today we're talking about sports on TV and how we broadcast sports on TV.
That was a pretty good catch.
Yes, it was.
But do say so myself, considering I am the most unsporty person there is.
Yes, there is. We're talking about the technology side of
Wait,
it. How
did you just agree that I'm a non-sports person?
Well, you average. The average cares. Well, today we're talking about sports on TV.
I'm okay.
So
We're talking about sports on television.
and how we broadcast sports on TV.
That's
and the technology
exactly right.
that's used that you might see.
So why am I wearing a Swans hat?
Well, because I might briefly mention AFL today.
You might briefly mention it.
Well, first of all, we're going to start off at what the general is. So, sports on Australian TV can be from a hobby to an experience, and can be very full on.
It can be.
Yes.
It can be so full on that it's on full.
Yes, it can be from AFL to NRL football to cricket, tennis, motor racing. So, example, V8 supercars. Golf, boxing. That's another one.
What else? What's one of our biggest sports in the country?
AFL.
Bigger than that.
Olympics.
It has some stumps in it.
Cricket.
That's it.
Cricket. Cricket and the Olympics as well.
That's right. That's right.
Race cam. Race cam was invented in 1979. It
Ah.
was developed and invented in 1979 by the Seven Network at the 1979 Bathurst 1000.
That's right. That's an invention specifically by Australians, for Australians, so we could get right in on the action
And
of V8 supercars.
it's used in a lot of motorsports over in other countries.
Yes, that's very true. So we developed that.
Yes, we developed that.
Cool.
But when race cam first came out, it was the hammer was pretty heavy and big when it first came.
Yeah, you
out.
know what they did? They
What
got
they
a
did?
camera and a lot of duct tape.
Really?
No.
The camera was like it was in the back of the race car, and often you could see the pictures would be beamed into our living rooms from the car.
That's exactly right.
So we can be in the driver's seat at home watching them.
So what else happened in sports television?
We've got stump cam.
Yep.
So have you ever watched cricket and you've seen the camera from the stumps? That's stump cam.
No, I don't watch cricket.
You don't watch cricket?
I just crushed his soul. You don't watch cricket. Okay, so did we develop stunt cam, or was that something that was brought in from overseas?
Probably, or it could be.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Stump cam is mostly used to check to see if the ball is out, and if the ball's
And what was one of the first sporting events that we broadcast in Australia?
the Melbourne Olympics.
That's right.
The
Do you remember what year?
1956.
Very good.
Like I mentioned in my other podcast.
Yes, that's right. But in case you hadn't seen that episode, now you have that information.
Now you have the information.
Very good.
We're up to Olympic. Speaking of Olympics, there's a technology that they use in the Olympics that you might see Olympic record lines.
Oh yeah, you see the little lines going across the screen when
Yeah.
you're like swimming really fast,
Yeah,
and you're
that-
like, "Come on, beat the record!" And then
Yeah,
they don't beat the record, but then the line disappears.
Yeah, that's because the people in the pool do not see the lines. It's what we only see on the screen.
Oh, they don't have a big line that goes across the water.
Yeah, they do have that, but
Oh.
it's mostly seen on the TV screen.
Oh, it's visual effects.
Visual effects. So,
Yeah, nice, cool.
You know, like the visual effects they use in some movies. It's what they use on some sports.
What about like tennis? When the ball, like, you think it's out, but it might be in. What's that?
That's Hawkeye. That is.
Yeah.
It's what they use to check if the ball's gone out of the tennis court or
That's
the.
exactly right. And where was that invented?
In England, that was invented in.
Okay. What year, do you know?
I think it was in the. It was developed in 2000. It was invented in 2006-7.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a really cool technology, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good tech. Well, it's come a long way since the first Olympic broadcast in 1956. The technology's come a long way since. We can even stream those things, you know.
That's right. We can stream them. In fact, now, more than ever, we've been able to access a lot more sports around the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks to technology.
Yes, thanks to technology and also the way we can stream things.
What are some of your favourite sports?
AFL, like
No.
this ball here.
You must follow Collingwood.
No, I don't follow Collingwood. I follow the Swans. I follow.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I follow the Swans.
There we go. Oh, I thought he was going to put it on backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to a Swans game recently?
Yes, I did in
Did you have a
Sydney.
good time?
Yes, I had a very good time. I saw
Awesome.
them win with my own eyes.
Oh, lucky you. Not a lot of people get to see their own team win with their own eyes.
Well, have you asked do you want to watch things for sports for free, don't you?
Oh, sometimes.
What's the law that is designed to ensure we can watch sporting events for free?
I know this one. Hang on, wait. Anti-something.
Anti-siphoning.
That's the one.
Yeah,
I knew you would know.
What is that? You know what that gives? That gives free-to-air television the first right to negotiate a sports contract.
That's
before
right.
it can be
And
on.
also, if it's a big event too,
If it's a big event,
like
yes.
the Olympics,
Yeah, like the
has to go to a
Olympics.
free-to-air television
Yeah,
station.
you know what the big events are? What are they?
The Olympic Games,
Yes, that's one.
Commonwealth Games,
Yes, Commonwealth Games.
NRL Grand Final,
Yes, and the State of Origin Series.
State of Origin Series.
The AFL Grand Final.
Yep.
The Bathurst 1000.
Yep.
The Melbourne Cup.
Oh,
Yeah, the Melbourne
I
Cup's
forgot
on
that's
that.
a sport. You're right.
Yes, it is. The Test match cricket. So,
What about like Sydney to Hobart?
I think that is, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You know what another big one is?
What?
What do we have on during the summer that we often see?
In the summer. Big Bash.
Not the Big Bash, the other one.
Ashes.
Yeah, the Ashes. That's another
Yeah.
one that's on the anti-cycling list.
That's right. A whole bunch of men in white clothes standing out in a field for a few hours so they can take home a big cup with ashes in it.
Yes. The cricket, the anti-cycling was brought in 1992 when just before before pay TV arrived.
All right, wrap it up for us. Any last minute facts?
Have you ever heard of simulcasting?
No. What's that?
Simulcasting is where they bring sports on both free-to-air and Foxtel at the same time.
Oh, so why pay for it if it's also on free to air?
Well, you know how some matches are not shown on free-to-air?
Yeah.
The ones that are shown on free-to-air can be simulcast on Fox. You know the NRL and AFL matches? Not
Yeah.
all of them are shown on free-to-air.
Yeah, that's true. And now with Paramount Plus having the rights to the Isuzu A-League,
Yeah.
some matches are shown on Channel 10 and the more premier matches
Yes,
are
that's
only
right.
shown on Paramount Plus.
Have you ever simulcasting is when you watch them you'll see it on both at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
Broadcasting at the same time is what simulcasting is. And
All right, well, thanks, Mr. Collingwood.
you mean Sydney Swans person?
Alrighty, guys. Up next, we have Scott Sports.
Scott Sports is up next.
It's a whole bunch of sports today.
Next time you see me, I'll potentially be talking about Marvel movies.
Ooh, and you might be in costume, I hear.
I could be in costume in the next
Stick
one.
around for that
Stick
episode.
around.
It's going to be
It's
fantastic.
going to be fantastic.
Let's roll right on over
To
to Scott
Scott.
Sport.
Toodles.
Thanks, Josh. Oh, toodle.
Hello, welcome to another week of Scott Sports. I'm Scott.
And I'm Adam in a jacket.
And with that, let's get into it. The French Open's underway, with tennis fans already giving Novak Djokovic a resounding boo as he entered the clay court. Suck fish.
Sydney Swan star Josh Kennedy set to miss 8 to 10 weeks with a hamstring injury, his worst injury to date. And that's going to be a major blow to the Swans.
Ooh. Manchester City has won the English Premier League with a dramatic late comeback beating Aston Villa 3-2 with 3 goals occurring in the last 15 minutes of the game. Wow. Good luck and go Manchester City. I'm not really Manchester City.
Now with that, it's on to the Isuzu A-League.
What a week in the second league of the semi-finals of the Isuzu A-League.
Yeah.
Melbourne City beating Adelaide United 2-1. They drew 0-0 in the first leg, but in the second leg it went to extra time.
Yeah.
Lucky Melbourne City got the 2 goals to 1.
Yeah.
But in the other game, the Melbourne victory in the Western United game, 4-2 on aggregate.
Yeah.
Western United beating Melbourne victory 4-1.
Yeah.
So it looks like it will be a Melbourne and a Western United grand final.
Yeah. I think you thought that's what's
I
gonna
knew
happen, didn't you?
Melbourne City were gonna, because I think they just won the premiership. Now they're gonna win another title. Now that's all we got for the A-League for this week. Now we're gonna head into this week, round 11 of the Telstra Premiership. Here we go, first game of the round. Newcastle Knights, Brisbane Broncos, 36-12. Broncos had 36 over 12.
Yeah, they were on fire. Adam Reynolds again leading the way. Poor Newcastle. They did all right last week, but Brisbane were on fire this
Just
time.
couldn't get the job done.
No.
Second game. The West Tigers over the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs,
Yeah.
36-22.
You know what? Both teams are struggling this year, Scotty, but it was a really good game. I'm happy for the Tigers. I thought the Doggies did well, but the Tigers just had too much pressure for them.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Next game. The Parramatta Eels over the Manly Sea Eagles. I didn't watch this game, but it was a really close game.
Hell yeah.
Trbojevic went down
Yeah.
with a shoulder injury. I think I'm
Yep.
guessing.
Yep. So
He's
out for
looking.
the
He's
season.
looking out for the season.
Damn, that's a big blow to Manly. I actually thought Manly were going to win that game. I know Parra's your team, but personally I didn't think they deserved the win. They were very lucky. But let's see what they can do without
Let's see
Tommy.
how we're going to go Magic in Jesus round.
Yeah.
That's coming
Yep.
up this week.
Yep.
The next game, the Dragons over the Warriors, 24-18.
So close, so close. You know what? This was a try-for-try game, mate. And I actually didn't know which way it was going to go. And even though the Warriors lost, I'm gutted for them. They actually played a decently good game. So, next week. Come on.
It's always next week, right?
Always
This week?
next week.
Do you mean this week? Or next week? Next week?
This week.
This week, next, whatever day it is today.
Yeah.
The Cowboys over the Melbourne Storm, 36-6.
Who did you pick? Who did you think was going to win this game?
I thought Melbourne was going to have
I
it.
thought Melbourne was
I
gonna
thought Melbourne was going to
smash
win the game, but
Yeah.
unfortunately they only got one try.
Yeah. I've never seen Melbourne shut down like that for a very long time. All credit to the Cowboys. Good on you.
Next game, the Penrith Panthers over the Roosters, 32-12.
Yep. Yep.
Mate, these Penrith players look like Cleary is going to get an Origin spot this year.
Whoa, he finally
I
admitted it.
I reckon Cleary. I'm not a really big fan of Cleary, but the way he's performing in this season,
Yeah.
stepping up. He got 5 from 5.
Yep. He had a good game, mate, for sure. I thought it was going to be a lot closer. But you know what? They shut the Roosters down, man. So all credit to them.
I think they're announcing the team this week or next week.
Yeah. It'll be sometime. Today, tomorrow.
Next game, the Rabbitohs rated 32-12 to the Raiders.
Yeah. I thought South's Rabbitohs, I thought they were going to smash them. But credit to Canberra. They came back. They actually had a really good game. And I think it was Josh Papili's, 250th game. He's a happy man.
Happy man, happy life.
There it is.
The last game of the round, 25-18, the Sharks over the Gold Coast Titans.
Yeah. Sharks are looking good, man. Like, Titans didn't play bad, but the Sharks have got a good combination going. That left side, again, was firing. And Nico Hines, he looks like the goods, mate. I think he might get a blue jersey too.
Oh, who knows? It's up to Brad Fittler to decide who's got the slot.
That's it.
Well, that's all we've got for this week for the NRL. Over to you, Rusi.
Thanks, Scott. Hello and welcome to our post-election edition of the news. I'm Rusi Komatai. The federal election was held on Saturday, May 21st, 2022, between Liberal National Party leader Scott Morrison and Australian Labor Party leader Anthony Albanese. The count started after 7 o'clock in the evening with the coalition on 3 seats and ALP on 11 seats. But by the end of the election night, ALP surpassed the coalition with a total of 69 out of 76 seats. The Liberals ended up with 52 seats. As it stands, the ALP are now on 74 seats, 2 seats short of forming majority government, and the LNP are now on 56 seats, with the Teal Independents on 10 seats, the Greens on 2 seats, and the others on 2 seats. Anthony Albanese became the 34th Prime Minister in Australia, resulting in his Labor Party government forming government after nearly 10 years as opposition party, with Labor MP Bill Shorten as leader for the first 7 years. Scott Morrison acknowledged in his conceding speech that it had been a great privilege serving as Prime Minister for over the last 4 years. He added in his speech that he will resign as Liberal National Party leader this week, with Peter Dutton tipped to replace the former PM as party leader. Morrison, however, indicated that he would focus on his role as MP for his seat of Cook. The election campaign started on April 11th, 2022 and ran for 6 weeks. During that period, Scott Morrison and Anthony Albanese jetted across the country trying to convince voters why they should vote for them. During the campaign, Scott Morrison pledged that $150 million would be saved on common medication, and out of that, PBS medications will drop in price from January 1st of next year. He also pledged to unlock superannuation to allow people to buy their first home, $375 million to establish a new comprehensive cancer centre in Queensland with a combination of research, treatment, diagnosis and care, as well as an extra $6 billion to protect the reef and move quickly to protect the jobs of 64,000 Queenslanders who rely on the $6.4 billion reef economy. He also stated that there will be no COVID lockdowns or restrictions if he got re-elected. The Labor Party, as we mentioned last week, pledged cheaper medicines, sovereign manufacturing and a better pay and stronger care sector, as well as plans to lower the cost of housing and introduce cheaper childcare. But Anthony Albanese said 2 days before that he has not ruled out future COVID lockdowns and restrictions down the track if he gets elected. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said, quote, "My fellow Australians, it says a lot about our great country that a son of a single mum who was a disability pensioner who grew up in public housing down the road in Camperdown can stand before you tonight as Australia's next Prime Minister. I can promise all Australians this. No matter how you voted today, the government that I lead will respect every one of you every day, and I will seek to get your vote next time." Former Prime Minister Scott Morrison said, quote, "I have spoken to the leader of the opposition and the incoming Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, and I've congratulated him on his election victory this evening. On a night like tonight, it is proper to acknowledge the functioning of our democracy. I have always believed in Australians and their judgment, and I've always been prepared to accept their verdicts, and tonight they have delivered their verdict. And I congratulate Anthony Albanese and the Labor Party, and I wish him and his government all the very best." Interesting times ahead. In other news, Sir Richard Branson hits the high seas by expanding Virgin into the cruise sector. Virgin Voyages is a cruise line owned by British capital conglomerate Virgin Group and investment firm Bain Capital. They currently have 2 ships in the fleet, with 2 more on order, all with an expected capacity of approximately 2,700 passengers each. Virgin Voyages officially launched on October 16, 2020 with the maiden voyage Scarlet Lady. The cruise line was initially due to launch in April 2020, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the launch was first delayed to August 7th, 2020, and ultimately it was delayed again to mid-October. It will launch in Melbourne, Australia this year in August with Resilient Lady. Virgin Voyages has at the moment 2 ships, including Scarlet Lady and Valiant Lady. They have 2 more ships in the pipeline, including Resilient Lady and Brilliant Lady. Prior to the official launch in 2020, President and CEO of Virgin Voyages, Tom McAlpin, said that the ships would be designed differently from existing ships in the market with a focus on the young at heart. In November 2016, the company announced that it had partnered with Climion for its clean energy system to be installed on the fleet's ships to generate energy from the engines, cooling water to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. In 2019, it was announced that it would ban single-use plastic bags from its fleet. Virgin Voyages' fleet of ships is similar to fellow cruise ships P&O, Princess Cruises and Carnival Cruise Lines. However, there are a few differences. They have a selection of 8 different suites, including Massive Suite, Fab Suite, Posh Suite, Gorgeous Suite, Brilliant Suite, Cheeky Corner Suite, Seriously Suite, and Sweet Af Suite, which are all finished with a rock star theme. 20 different restaurants with a certified Michelin-starred chef, 6 different nighttime floor shows, a 3-story bar called The Manor, a fancy poolside area called Aquatic Club, and for the first time in the history of cruising, an onboard tattoo parlour, just to name a few. And as a first, the cruise line is a children's free zone. And another bonus, you pay for the alcohol, but the food and beverages are included in the fare. Sir Richard Branson said, quote, "For more than 50 years, Virgin companies have been innovating and making industries better for our customers. Virgin Voyages is very much charting its own path, offering a fresh perspective on cruise travel with all the elements of the Virgin experience that people love. Sir Richard Branson stated in an interview with Channel 9's A Current Affair that all staff and passengers are fully vaccinated. Everybody is tested before they boarded the ship, and all air infiltration systems are the same as what you can expect in hospitals. However, he promised that it is worth all the wait. Sir Richard Branson stated that it has been a tough time for cruising and the travel industry, but makes it satisfying coming out of COVID with reportedly 1,700 staff smiling. He said, quote, "Businesses, airlines, cruise companies, fitness clubs, hotels, you name it, they all closed down." So it's really been really tough. So it makes coming out of COVID all the more satisfying, seeing, the 1,700 staff and their smiles. Welcome to the Cruising World Virgin. Thank you for tuning in for our post-election edition of the news. I'm Rusi Komatai. See you again next week for another exciting segment. But for the time being, back to Dan and Kes.
That was another successful and very sexy version of
Successful. That's what a success is. I'd hate to see what a derailment is.
It's sexier.
Oh.
I forgot to introduce myself at the start. I've been
No,
Daniel.
you did because we put a nameplate.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, you're Daniel with a jacket,
Yes.
and I'm Kez in the hood.
In the hood. I can't do that. I'm too white for that shit. Come back next week. We'll promise we'll be better eventually.
Yeah, it won't be a disaster. Maybe we should do a segment on disasters. Maybe Josh can do a segment on disasters eventually.
Oh.
I know he's got a lot of things that he wants to talk about.
I can't wait.
Anyway, as always, like
And subscribe.
and comment as well somewhere. It's also a good idea.
It's in the below, in the towel section.
No, do it on the YouTube video because that'll be better. We get more hits.
More clicks.
Yeah. Then
Oh,
we can
yeah.
Then when we got enough hits, you know what we can do, Daniel?
What?
Have a best of.
A best of?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
In fact, this intro is going so long that this could be its own episode.
I cannot wait.
You
Anyway.
can't not wait.
Okay, we're cutting it here.
See
Bye,
you
guys.
guys.